they're not. I just don't think the players who got them there for the first half are going to get them there in the second. So I think the postseason picture in the American League stays as is. National League is very interesting. While 3 teams have been eliminated from postseason play already, the Tigers, Orioles, and Royals, no team is within 7 games of elimination in the National League, because while division play has been kind of set aside for Toronto, Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, and Seattle in the American League, and in the National League it's the Marlins. Wild card play still exists, and the Marlins have 9 games to go until they're out of the wild card hunt. They're not making the playoffs. I'm not saying they are, but no one's been eliminated yet because it's a lot closer of a race in the National League. But right now, the way it shapes up, the Braves I think are pretty easily going to win the Central. The Cardinals are starting to separate themselves, even though actually, as I'm watching the Cardinals lose 3-0 to the Brewers, as Keston Hiura just hit a home run off of Jack Flaherty to give the Brewers a 3-0 lead. I think that the Cardinals do have that division. I mean, the Cubs, the Cubs are going to play them tough. The Cubs always do. The Cubs know how to win. They won the World Series recently, and they are a good team. So the Cubs will play them tough. I don't think the Brewers, who are 2 games over 500 right now, I don't think the Brewers are going to make the playoffs. I don't see it. And the West is easily won by the Dodgers. So the division leaders right now, I believe, will be the division winners at the end of the season. The Braves, the Cardinals, and the Dodgers. The wild card is going to be very interesting. The Nationals have a 3-game lead on the Cubs at the second wild card spot. But within 4 games of that second wild card spot are 4 teams. The Phillies, 2 games back. The Mets, 3 games back. The Brewers, 3.5 games back. And the Diamondbacks, 4 games back. But with all that said, I can, as a baseball fan, say that this is going to change, that the postseason picture is going to change. Because if you know the construction of rosters, which, I mean, I do, you know that the Cubs have a better offense than the Phillies. They have better rotation than the Phillies. They have a worse rotation than the Mets, but a better offense than the Mets. They have a much better rotation than the Brewers, and they have probably a better offense, or the same offense. And I'm not even going to talk about the Diamondbacks. They're out. They're 4 games back, but they have they have a lot of things to be happy about. Do the Diamondbacks, but they are not a postseason team by any stretch. So yeah, I just think that this is how the postseason is going to shape up. With every team who currently holds a postseason spot going to hold on to that postseason spot. It's going to be a fun playoff. The Red Sox, you can go back to shows I had back before the season started, back in like February or March. And I thought the Red Sox would be a playoff team. I did. I was wrong. But I did say the Yankees are better than the Red Sox, and I'm right. I'm not going to sit back here and tout my greatness. But I was correct then, and I knew I was correct. You just look at the construction of the teams. Back then I said the Red Sox have 0 bullpen, and that remained true. They have an iffy rotation with an aging Chris Sale. Chris Sale is now out for the season with an injury. And also, he regressed significantly with his stuff with an over 4 ERA. Plus, Porcello was bad. Plus they had injuries, but you can't blame season injuries. If you're gonna go out and say that injuries cost somebody a season and cost you a playoff spot, look at the Yankees. Look at the Yankees. Nobody has been more injured than the Yankees, and they have an 87, and they're 40 games over 500. 40. 87 wins. It is remarkable to see what they've done this year. This has been a fun team to watch for a lot of reasons. Not just because they win a lot. I mean, obviously it's fun to watch a team win. Obviously it's fun to watch your team go out there and beat the other team. But when you're doing it with guys like Mike Ford, when you're doing it with guys like Gio Urshela and Thairo Estrada, I mean, that's a fun team to watch. They shouldn't win. It doesn't make sense that a team who should be a powerhouse and are a powerhouse, but they should have been a powerhouse with the team with the right players. Mike Tauchman has started a lot this year and played great. Cameron Maben, Mike Ford, Thairo Estrada. Who would have thought these guys would have made any impact? We even had Kendrys Morales for a little bit, who filled in pretty well. But you didn't remember him. It has been a ride to watch this team play. And now they're going to the playoffs. And they have reinforcements. And those reinforcements are going to play, and they're going to start. It's going to be unfortunate for the guys who are not going to start. But it's how baseball should be. It's how the Yankees should be. Just a little quick thing. I want to congratulate Aaron Judge. He hit his 100th career home run. I was at the ball game when he hit his first, and I'm proud to see him hit his 100th. And there's going to be several hundred more to come for the big man. But let's break down the two games in Seattle that the Yankees had to play. They should win these games against Seattle. It's Seattle. They sold all their pieces, and they should lose, and they have. So the Yankees should win these games, but still, gotta go out, gotta go play them. First game of the series, you had J. Happ, whose line looks bad, but it wasn't. He threw a bad pitch, and he gave a 3-run home run. But 5 innings, 2 hits, it's pretty good. 7 strikeouts. Can't complain there. And the bullpen, aside from a Nestor Cortez pitch to Malik Smith for a home run, did his job pretty well. Chappie came in with the save and stared down the Mariners as he mowed down the Mariners, and we got ourselves a lovely 5-4 win. Glaber hit his 33rd home run of the year, and Big Mike Ford, hit 2 himself. The other RBI coming from our lovely backup catcher Austin Romine. All in total, we get 5 runs, and we get the win. So that's game 1 of the series. Game 2 was yesterday. If you didn't stay up like me, you would have missed a beautiful performance out of Masahiro Tanaka. 7 innings, 3 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. This is the kind of guy that you're going to start seeing now that it's the end of August and starting to be September. He's the guy that you want pitching in a playoff game. If you want an example, another game I was at, 2017, Yankees-Indians. Yankees are down 2-0, fighting for their playoff lives. They go with Tanaka in Game 3. Tanaka against Carlos Carrasco, who, may I add, right now is currently battling cancer. So, best of luck to him. He actually just pitched in a rehab game for the Indians minor leagues. So, best of luck to Carlos Carrasco. This is not to disparage Carlos Carrasco in the least, but I'm just making a point that he pitched against Tanaka. It was Carrasco against Tanaka. And Tanaka went down and shut them down. And the Yankees won the ballgame 1-0. And it wasn't even close. They didn't get any hard contact. It was the Tanaka show. And that's the kind of guy you're going to start seeing nowadays. because he knows how to turn it on when it matters most. So he's 7 innings, 3 hits for Tanaka, and the offense did this job. 2 runs in the first inning. Obviously, Aaron Judge with his 100th career home run. He gave himself another hit on the day. LeMahieu with yet another 2-hit day. He was 2 for 4. Torres had 2 hits. Gary got a hit. Brett Gardner got himself a nice 3-run home run. Urshela with a base hit. Romine and 4 both had hits. Romine had 2 RBIs. And it was a good offensive day for the Bombers and a good pitching day for the Bombers. And the Yankees will play the 3rd game of the series and final game of the series today at 4 o'clock. Yankees lineup looks like this. LeMahieu leading off at second base. Judge 2 in right. Glaber is 3rd, DHing. 4 is Gary behind the plate. 5 is Gardner in center. 6 is Gio at third base. 7 is Mike Ford at first. 8 is Maben in left. And 9 is Tyler Wade playing shortstop with James Paxton on the mound. Pitching for the Mariners is the guy Yankees traded to get James Paxton, Justice Sheffield. So this should be an interesting matchup between the Yankees and Mariners today at 4:10 p.m. there in Seattle. But with that, we must end today's show, and the Yankees hopefully will take home the series sweep from the Mariners today. Keep watching Yankee baseball, everybody. I've been Anthony Simeone, and I will see you next week.